Welcome back to Parental Alienation and Narcissism by J. Claude McDaniel. This program is to help you heal and navigate through the hardships associated with narcissistic alienation. Please like and subscribe.
Welcome to episode 21. My name is J. Claude McDaniel, author and victim of alienation. I share my experiences, education, and provide valuable information that I hope will help you navigate through your plight. This episode is opinion-based narrative for navigating custody condition. In Part A we'll discuss when the rules are not enough. Part B will be on protecting the relationship. When the rules aren't enough. When the custody order was finally signed, Alex felt a sense of relief. Months of negotiations, court appearances, attorney meetings, endless paperwork. At last there were rules, a schedule, a framework designed to protect his relationship with his children. For a brief moment he believed the hardest part was over. He was wrong. It didn't take long for Alex to discover that a court order is only as effective as the willingness of people to follow it. The first warning signs seemed small. A delayed pickup, a last-minute cancellation, a forgotten exchange, an unexpected scheduling conflict. Each event appeared reasonable when viewed alone. But over time, Alex noticed a pattern. The conflicts almost always affected his parenting time. The special events somehow landed on his weekends. Birthday parties suddenly appeared during scheduled visitation. Sports tournaments became unavoidable. School activities became mandatory. Opportunities that should have strengthened his relationship with his children often seemed to compete directly with it. At first, Alex questioned himself. Maybe it really was coincidence. Maybe he was overthinking things. But as months turned into years, the pattern became impossible to ignore. The challenge wasn't simply lost time. The challenge was what lost time represented. Every missed weekend was a missed opportunity. Every canceled visit was a lost conversation. Every interrupted tradition weakened the foundation of a relationship that already faced enormous pressure. One painful memory stayed with him for years. A birthday celebration that should have brought everyone together instead reminded him how divided things had become. Standing among family and friends, Alex felt strangely disconnected from a moment that should have belonged equally to him. The event wasn't about conflict. Yet somehow conflict had found its way into the room. It was then that Alex began to understand something important. Navigating custody conditions wasn't just about following a schedule. It was about protecting a relationship. And protecting relationships requires patience, awareness, and consistency. Rather than reacting emotionally to every setback, Alex began observing patterns. He paid attention. He documented changes. He focused on facts instead of assumptions. Most importantly, he refused to allow frustration to damage the limited time he still had with his children. When parenting time did occur, he made it count. He listened. He stayed present. He created positive experiences. Because he understood that quality matters as much as quantity. And every moment together remained valuable. As difficult as the situation sometimes felt, Alex refused to surrender his role as a parent. The schedule might change. Plans might be disrupted. But his commitment would remain constant. In the Part B of this episode, we'll explore how Alex responded to repeated custody challenges, protected his credibility, and learned why calm persistence often becomes a parent's strongest tool. Protecting the relationship. As custody challenges continued, Alex learned that frustration alone solves nothing. Anger may feel justified. Arguments may feel necessary. But neither one strengthens a relationship with your children. Instead, Alex developed a different approach. A strategy built on patience, documentation, and consistency. The first step was simple. Document everything. Every missed exchange. Every unexpected cancellation. Every schedule change. Every communication. Not because he wanted conflict, but because facts matter. Memories fade. Emotions change. Documentation preserves reality. Alex kept detailed records. Dates, times, messages, responses, and most importantly, he kept those records professional, objective, accurate, free from emotional commentary. The second lesson was equally important. Don't take the bait. There were moments when frustration tempted him to react. Moments when accusations felt unfair. Moments when conflict seemed unavoidable. But Alex learned that every emotional reaction risked becoming a distraction from the real issue. His children. Whenever communication became difficult, He returned to simple, professional responses. Short, clear, respectful. Focused on the children and the schedule. Nothing more. Nothing less. Another important decision involved communication itself. Whenever possible, Alex used approved communication channels. Written communication created clarity. It reduced misunderstandings. And it provided a record of what was actually said. The goal wasn't to build a case. The goal was to maintain accountability and transparency. Most importantly, Alex never lost sight of what mattered most: his relationship with his children. When he had parenting time, he focused on connection rather than conflict. He avoided interrogations, avoided criticism, avoided discussions that placed children in the middle. Instead, he created space for trust to grow. Through conversations, shared activities, and consistent presence. Even when parenting time felt limited, he made each opportunity meaningful. Eventually, there were situations where professional assistance became necessary. When patterns continued despite repeated efforts to cooperate, Alex worked through proper legal channels. Not to punish, not to retaliate, but to protect the relationship he had spent years trying to preserve. And when the time came to present his concerns, he didn't arrive with emotional speeches. He arrived with facts, organized records, clear timelines, documented patterns, evidence of consistency, evidence of involvement, evidence of commitment. Over time, those records told a story stronger than any argument could. The story of a parent who kept showing up. The story of a parent who remained present despite obstacles. The story of a parent who never stopped trying. The lesson from this episode is simple. Custody agreements establish expectations. But it is consistency that protects relationships. You cannot control every circumstance. You cannot control every decision made by others. But you can control your response. You can remain steady. You can remain involved. You can remain committed. Because children may not remember every scheduled dispute or every legal disagreement, but they often remember the parent who kept showing up. And sometimes, that consistency becomes the strongest foundation of all. If the relationship becomes alienated, then the information in this episode becomes all that much more important. In the next episode, we'll explore the subject of emotional resilience beyond the system. This ends episode 21 of my podcast. In episode 22, we'll get into emotional resilience beyond the system. Thank you for reviewing my podcast and listening to this episode. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It helps this valuable site to grow and spread sound child behaviors and alienation information. Sincere thanks, J. Claude McDaniel.